fresh, I rock well.
My name is Dr. Elliot Gann. I am a clinical psychologist based in Oakland, California. I'm director of Today's Future Sound. I'm also a DJ, beat maker, and we'll talk about the difference between those two. A psychologist, psychotherapist, and I've been teaching music production and beat making for over a decade in the Bay Area in San Francisco and Oakland. But before that, had started doing work like that in Santa Barbara when I was an undergrad at UC Santa Barbara, and had started an outreach program for the student organization I started a student hip-hop organization on campus that was doing work in schools in the community, was also putting on events, and had been very involved in both the underground battle rap scene, competitive freestyle battle rapping, as well as beat battles. I kind of transitioned and I got sick of adult men kind of trading epithets and doing all sorts of stuff. I thought it was time to mature out of that and kind of moved into beat battles, a different kind of sublimation, if you will, channeling it, anger, aggression, and other kind of feelings through beats. And beats is really, that's where my passion is. I love making beats. I'm an active producer and practitioner of electronic music and hip hop. So just a little bit about me. Today's Future Sound is a nonprofit that's based in Oakland, California. We use music production and media arts as vehicles through which to empower youth as artists and community members while fostering their well-being as individuals. So that's a lot of jargon. What it's saying is that we're using specifically hip-hop and electronic music production, beat-making, DJing, and performance to help young people express themselves, to learn new skill sets, and also to form communities, very intentional communities. Both the instructors, who we'll get to in a minute, because we have many instructors and they come from the local community, as well as to help peers build community in pro-social activities like beat-making, small group activities, within schools, outside of schools, community settings, and larger settings. And the wellness part, fostering their well-being, speaks to the kind of individual interventions that I might make, as well as kind of broader therapeutic benefits of the work that we do. And I should say as well, before I get to the next slide, I did my dissertation on therapeutic hip-hop activity groups with the organization with which Akechi worked in the Bay Area, Beats, Rhymes, and Life, BRL Inc., that has a rap therapy model where they're using the creation, both analysis of rap songs, but also creation of hip-hop rap songs, texts, etc., sometimes over original beats, sometimes over beats from other artists. And I studied the efficacy of that, the impact of that in both a qualitative and a quantitative way. And I really approached it from a psychoanalytic perspective in understanding what's the utility of these groups, how does it work, kind of what's under the engine and what's fueling it. And in terms of the survey data that I did, which wasn't a very large number of students, but the number one, 99% finding was that the modality of hip hop was the reason that the students were present at these voluntary therapeutic after-school hip hop activity groups. And I think that that's a pretty important piece of information. If you take anything away from today, know that the culture of hip hop and youth culture but hip hop in particular is extremely important and powerful and has a very strong appeal across any kind of boxes, borders, lines we can draw. I want to give a shout out to one of my main collaborators, Dr. Raphael Travis, who is a licensed clinical social worker at Texas State University. We met about 3 years ago and have been collaborating on various projects. I just went down to Austin, Texas to present at South by Southwest EDU with Dr. Travis. We also ran a pilot group of Beats for Vets, which is a program aimed at college university level student veterans, and was doing a therapeutic beat making group with them. It was interesting because it was 6 students, 60% of whom were themselves enrolled in the social work program. 5 of the 6 were white men aging in range from maybe mid-20s to early 40s. 1 Asian Pacific Islander female, and most of the group members didn't listen to hip hop, weren't that interested necessarily, maybe vaguely knew some hip hop, but much more into rock, metal, country, etc. But nonetheless, we're able really to engage in the group activity both of beat making, they really enjoyed it, and we made a beat together, as well as talking about their favorite songs and how they used music and songs, which is one of the foci of Dr. Travis's research and work. He focuses on positive youth development, but this is a system that he has in place where you can use songs and music to kind of think about how to heal yourself and kind of move from a me to we in terms of the community model, gain support, etc. So one other thing we're working on is a theoretical model that bridges his research and theory, the EMPYD model, which is a positive youth development model modified for African American youth, meeting kind of with my psychoanalytic theory and model that we're meshing together, which actually overlap like 100%. We're just approaching it from different theoretical orientations, but we're working on the therapeutic beat making model and an article on it, so that'll be hopefully soon to come. One last thing, he's also the author of The Healing Power of Hip Hop. Sorry to jump back here, but it's an incredible book that synthesizes and summarizes his research on positive youth development, looking at hip hop education and hip hop mental health programs across North America, both in the United States and Canada, and integrates his work and research on positive youth development. So I highly recommend, you can get it on Amazon, The Healing Power of Hip Hop.
To be fresh, I rock well.